Well, this isn't mine, but it's down here for a reason. It is in for an SMG to manual swap. That's why there's a trans, a clutch, and a bunch of other new stuff sitting down there. This thing is a 2003 carbon black on black SMG M3 coupe. It has 34,000 miles on it. This thing was purchased in Texas, new. It was driven for about 5 years, and then it was parked. And it's been parked ever since, outside, obviously, in not so great conditions. So the paint is completely nuked. I'm not going to do anything with that. And the interior is just got a bunch of heat damage. So either way, super low miles, and mechanically and where it counts, this thing is pretty nice. So over the next few days, I will be SMG to manual swapping this thing. And hopefully it will have a new lease on life shortly. It sounds like the owner has a new interior to put in it and is planning on getting it sprayed as well. So should be pretty nice after the fact. It's always tough to see through the condition of something for the potential, but I think it's definitely there in this car. It's just kind of sad to see something that's so nice just sort of let sit and turn into this sort of condition. That's a lot of clear coat failure. Oof. But anyway, the 850 seems to drive pretty nice. The steering wheel is no longer centered after doing the control arms and thrust arms, so due for an alignment. And then, of course, I now have the rear wheel off the Ferrari, so I can get it refinished like 4 years later. Yep, stay tuned. It's going to be a lot of fun stuff. I know what you're thinking. Eric, did you just pull this thing out of a swamp? What's the deal, dude? Especially when you look inside and you see, oh, it's an SMG. Oh, gross. Well, the main reason it's down here, it's not my car, but it is a customer car, and it actually is a really solid car with 34,000 original miles on it. The story behind it is it was purchased, driven regularly, and then it sat outside, very neglected, in a really, really hot, sunny part of Texas for 10 years. And that just completely ruined the paint. It pretty much ruined the interior. So this car has had a rough life, but at least I can help by getting rid of that terrible sequential manual gearbox. So right now I'm gonna pull the 850 out and I'm gonna do the old switcheroo. Get this thing up in the air, and the plan is to manual swap it. Well, hopefully the last time this thing ever gets driven is an SMG. Well, every single thing I took off the bottom is completely filthy and dropping stones, but once I got up here, I do have to say, it's a little weird. The oil pan is like immaculately clean. And honestly, so is most of the engine. But it's got an oil spot right there, and the transmission's super dirty. I just don't know what to make of that. And then I got over here. I'm like, oh, this is supposed to have a 15 mil. So, no, it's clearly been crunched really hard at some point and not fixed well. It's bad all the way along. So, messaging the owner just to make sure he knows that before I put thousands of dollars into this car, but that's too bad. Looks like this thing has seen a rough 34,000 miles. Well, back down, working on this bucket. I've got all the top end stuff that's in the way pulled. I've got the SMG pump and manifold block undone top side. Got the DME cover off. Yeah, so we're doing pretty well here. I think there is still one more fastener bottom side to pull that SMG pump and stuff out. Obviously the transmission's already out. So is the mechatronic. I opted to just undo the hydraulic lines from it this time, since I didn't pull the entire engine and transmission like I'm used to doing. But anyway, I'm not sure if I'm going to do like lines and wire through here first. I'm guessing the smartest thing to do is probably going to be start pulling apart the interior, swap the pedal set over, get the clutch hard lines in. That's probably the toughest stuff. And then when I do raise it back up, I do still have a new clutch to put in it, and a couple other things to that effect as well. So just gonna keep plugging away at it. Whatever stuff gets in my way first will get dealt with first. Thanks to Mr. 3-inch hole saw, we now have room for a manual shifter. Very, very good news. For whatever reason, the only E46 manual swaps you have to do this are the M3s. All the rest of the cars, this is open with foam rubber in it. And I've got the lower cover removed. So I'll just pull out the kick plate, pull off the little trim here. Then I'll be able to peel back the carpet enough to hopefully get that clutch hard line installed. And then I can work on the pedals. The shifter will be one of the last things we do. Because of the type of carrier I use, a lot of the people that do these swaps will weld in the sheet metal piece that the manual cars came with. I use a different but still genuine BMW part that actually bolts the shift carrier to the car. I much prefer that. It saves a lot of time and it saves a little bit of money as well. So that's what I'll be doing on this car as well. Everything else completely business as usual. But yeah. Whew. Still have to take these paddles off too. That's just a little baby Torx on the top of each one. Where to put my beer? Oh, I need to find my beer.